Hey everybody, I thought I'd do a short video on my beehive stand and what I do to keep my hives securely fastened to my stand. So I took 4x4s, 4 inches by 4 inches, and I cut them into 32-inch long pieces. So I can take that and bury them in the ground 12 inches, and that leaves me 20 inches above ground to the top of my stand. So this right here is 20 inches off of the ground, which gets them up high enough to not have critters come by and mess. I took right here on top, as you can see, these were treated 2x4s right here. And then they're 1.5 inches roughly thick. So I take and cut 1.5 inches right here off. This is 3.5 inches from here to here. So I took 3.5 inches off here and just cut that chunk off, and then I did it again on this chunk. So that leaves me with this little bitty piece right here sticking up. That's the top of my post. And then I set these down on top of it. So the front and the back are 48 inches long to make it a 4-foot wide stand. That's enough to comfortably sit 2 hives. This middle piece to fit in between them is 16.5 inches. So that's 16.5 inches there. And that's plenty of room front to back on my stand. As you can see where it's sitting, I've got it to the front of the hive here and to the back here pretty good. So we're plenty of room on top, front to back, and there's plenty of room side to side. So I'll go here and you can see how much room I've got side to side on my 2 stands. So then what I did was I come right in the middle, right here, and I've got their 4-inch long, 5/16 of an inch eye bolts. Now these eye bolts on the end look like wood screws, so you can screw them down into the wood. So I pre-drilled a hole 1/4 inch, which roughly the same thickness of the shank, because your threads are going to be out wider. And then I just screwed them down in there by hand. I put them in here by hand like this, and then if you take a screwdriver and stick it in there, you can spin it around like that, and that'll help you out. Makes it a lot easier. And what I did was I just measured from here to the bottom on each one of them, and then that's what I made every one of them. So I did 4 of them for the 2 stands. So in the middle, you can see I staggered them in the middle. You see how they're staggered? And that way I can strap both stands in the middle, and they be out of the way of each other. So then you see it comes up, goes across the top. When it comes down to this side, I go under this side and around the top and just wrap it around that instead of sticking it through the eye. And the reason I did that was when I loosen this to take it off, this right here doesn't fall to the ground. It just stays there. Then I just unhook it and everything. And in the middle it doesn't matter, because I don't really mess with these in the middle. Sometimes they come loose if it's got not enough tension on it, but when I'm taking it loose. But other than that, they stay just like that out of the way. But this is how I've got my stands, and it works good for me. It gets me up at a good working height for me. If you don't want your stand to be 20 inches off the ground, then if you want them to be 18 inches off the ground, cut your 4x4s 30 inches long, but just make it ever how you want to. You could have them 6 inches off the ground, it doesn't really matter. But this is a very sturdy stand. You can walk up and push on my hives and they're not going to budge. They're going to stay right where they are. And I was afraid that if I started putting rocks on top of them, if a neighbor came by or something, or one of the kids come by and lifted it up and then slammed it down on top, and I had a puncture in my roof and I didn't know it for a week or so, and we was in a bunch of rain, I would start getting rain in there and wood rot, over time. So I just thought this was a better alternative. So if you have any other suggestions to make this better, let me know. I'd be glad to know. But other than that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.